Welcome to Yoga on the Beach. Today, our practice is at Boynton Beach in South Florida. You'll need a mat or a towel, and let's start in mountain pose. Close your eyes. We'll be using the sound of the waves as our background music today. Closing our eyes, roll your shoulder blades up, down, and back. Dropping our shoulder blades into our back pockets. Finding a nice firm foundation with our feet, spreading the toes wide, actively stretching, fingertips towards our mat. Inhale, grow a little more length into the spine. Exhale, release left ear towards our shoulder. Inhale, come back up, and exhale, other side. Come back to the center. And let's sweep both arms all the way up overhead. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, release. Let's do that a couple more times. It's a very windy day here, so if you're joining me for your practice and you're outside, it's going to be a little more challenging when we do our balancing postures. Inhaling, fingertips overhead, interlacing. Press the palms to the sky. Reach to our left, pressing weight into the outer edge of our right foot. Inhaling center and exhaling other side. Inhaling center, exhale, palms come out in front, rounding through the upper back. Pressing our shoulder blades apart. And inhaling our way back to center. Exhale, little baby back bend. Inhaling center. Exhale, have a seat, chair pose. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, have a seat. Continue to flow. Taking it a little bit deeper with each stretch. In our next one, we're going to challenge ourselves to pause, holding down as well as we can, and then slowly start to lift up one heel at a time. Pressing on your balance. If you're feeling pretty sturdy, we'll go ahead and lift both arms together. Back up to chair. Your other challenge, lift your heels even higher. Drop the elbows a little bit lower. Stay with both the feet. Inhale, arms all the way up overhead. Exhaling, hands to heart center. We're going to move into flying bird, challenging our balance. When you're ready, big step back with our left leg into crescent lunge. Fingertips reach to the back corners of your mat. Gaze comes up. And then we step back to the top of the mat in mountain pose. Inhaling, opposite leg back. Exhale together. Continue to alternate. If you want to make it a little more challenging, chair pose instead of mountain pose at the top. The next time our right foot is back, we will hold crescent lunge. Gently set your back heel down and find warrior one. In warrior one, our hips are square to the top of the mat. We're going to drop a little bit deeper into our warrior base. And maybe we take our hands to both closed arms or reach to the sky, relaxing our shoulders away from our ears. Finding our firm foundation. Inhale, open up into warrior two. Stay static. Inhale, back. Extended angle. Inhale, drop the arm down, reach up and over into extended angle. I'm sorry, it was reverse warrior and then extended angle. We're going to slide up into triangle pose. Inhale, lifting, straightening both legs, shifting our hips to the back of the mat, reaching out over the big toe, and then slowly coming down into triangle. You can reach for the mat, you can reach for your thigh, reach for the shin. It's all about opening. Triangle is an opening pose. We want to stack the shoulders, stack the hips, and then breathe into the open. Opening our side body. Breathe into the openness. On our next exhale, we'll slowly slide into airplane. You can step your back foot in a couple inches. Our back is long. Our core is engaged. We pull our belly button in towards our spine. And on our next exhale, we release into pyramid. So that might be hands coming to your shin, wherever you can keep your back long, hips square, or maybe you can reach a little bit closer to your mat. Make sure this feels okay in your front leg. It's a big hamstring stretch. Moving into a pretty high balance, we're going to inhale into needle, lifting our back towards the sky. As the heel lifts up, crown of the head continues to reach down towards the mat. Our balancing knee is soft. Exhale, release to a forward fold. Bring your hands to your elbows, coming into ragdoll, gently rocking from side to side. On our next inhale, go ahead and reverse swan dive. Reaching all the way up into a baby back bend. Have a seat, chair pose, Utkatasana. Moving back for this flow. At this point, we should be feeling nice and warm, so perhaps you can challenge yourself to go a little bit deeper into your chair pose. On our next chair, go ahead and sit. Hold here. And gently lift one heel up at a time. Find a focal point for your gaze. That's definitely the moment for balance. If you can, both heels come together. Again, if you're outdoors practicing like I am with a lot of wind, it's going to be more challenging to balance. Staying on the balls of the feet, dropping our hips a little bit lower, lifting the hips a little bit higher. Continuing to breathe deeply into the belly. And let's inhale, lift arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, slowly sliding back down into mountain pose. Moving back into flying bird. Let's inhale one heel back at a time, reaching for the back corners of the mat. We can either step back together into mountain pose or come back into chair. Also, if you have a thicker mat, you're on sand like I am. And this is not compact sand today, so it is a big challenge for my balance. Let's stay back this time with our left foot coming into crescent lunge, sliding our heel down, finding warrior one, finding your arm position, roll post arms, or up overhead. Exhale, sink a little deeper into your warrior base, bending our front knee, and then gently open your hips to the side of your mat. Back foot can adjust. Arms are reaching strong. Gaze is out over the back of your hips, quarter two. Inhaling our palm up, lift up and back, reverse warrior. Try to really get to be on deep warrior base. Gaze up to the side. Breathing deep as we go each posture. Exhale, bending our elbow, lifting up and over, finding extended angle. Our forearm is resting here. We're not doing much work with the forearm. It's our core that's staying strong and holding us here. Inhale, make your way back up into triangle. Shifting your hips to the back of your mat as you reach way out over the front of your mat, coming down into triangle. Remember, this is an opening pose, so we stack our shoulders, stack our hips. We can turn the gaze up to the sky, or down to the mat, or leave your gaze straight ahead, coming in neutral. Wherever you find the most stability and comfort. Remember, if you find your breath becoming more shallow, let's work on pulling it in a little deeper, making it last a little longer. Inhale, slide into airplane, create a long spine, flat back, engage the core. And exhale, find pyramid. So our feet can come a little closer, big toes point straight ahead. Our legs are straight. more deep breath here. And we're going to move into balancing needle, taking the palms out in front, lifting our heel to the sky, crown of the head continues to come a little bit closer to our mat. Breathing, balancing. And with your exhale, bring the feet together, coming into your forward fold. Seeing now if we can straighten our legs a little bit more. Inhaling, reverse swan dive, reaching up, slight back bend. Release hands to heart center, hinge from the hips, swan dive forward. Stepping or jumping back into downward facing dog. First one of the day, so let's pause here and bicycle at our heels, bending one knee at a time. And go ahead and begin to lift both heels up together, sending both heels down, stretching through the bottoms of our feet. On our next inhale, slide into plank, stacking your shoulders on top of the wrist, squeezing the core in tight, and exhale, downward facing dog. Again, inhaling into plank, pausing here, holding for a breath, and then slowly dropping your left knee down to the mat, taking your left palm underneath the shoulder, and coming into supported side plank. Here, our shoulder is back right above the wrist, and we're in a 3-point balance. So if you can and you want to take it a little bit more challenging, lifting our back leg up off the mat. So now it's a 2-point balance, or creating the bind for the foot, arching through the back. I'm really stretching through the front of our shoulder and our chest. Exhale, release. Gently press away from the mat. Inhale, lift tall. Exhale, gate. Wait. Towards our ankle. Opening up our side body. Back down to the mat. And let's take shock of the consonant here, cat-cow. So we're going to inhale, belly down, bring the gaze up. Exhale, tuck and around. Do a few more, flexing and extending our spine. One more in each direction. Turning our toes under, lifting back up into downward facing dog. Let's lift our left heel up this time, three-legged dog, drop the knee behind us, twisting, looking over our left shoulder. Bringing our heel back down, pedaling out our heels one more time, and then inhale, lifting up our right heel. Bend the knee, drop the heel behind us, open up by looking under the shoulder. Come back to the center. Now let's make our way back into plank pose, stacking our shoulders right on top of our wrist. If this is too hard and it's not working today, to keep your core engaged, just drop to your knees here. Exhale back into downward facing dog. And one more time into plank pose. Pausing here for 2 or 3 full cycles of breath. And slowly releasing our right knee to the mat. Right palm comes under the shoulder, opening up into supported side plank. Stacking our shoulders right on top of the wrist. This could be your end point. Only lifting the top leg if you want. 2-point balance. Or find the bind if you tried that on the first side. Really pushing the foot into your palm. Creating a bigger spinal extension, opening up the shoulder and the chest. And we exhale, slowly release, lifting up and over into gate pose. Pinwheel our arms back down and around to the mat. Last time in downward facing dog. We're going to inhale, left heel high, and bring it all the way up and through, finding our pigeon pose. So remember, in pigeon pose, you're welcome to make it less intense by drawing the heel closer to your midline. If you need more intensity, just pull the shin more parallel to the top of the mat. So you can certainly stay upright and hold, or you can walk it out onto your forearms, or maybe even stack your fist, resting your forehead on the top fist. Whichever one you choose, you're breathing into it. By now, you might notice the progressive opening of our hip. If you're still feeling specific areas that have a tight spot, maybe it's a hot spot, tight area, try to bring your breath into those tight areas, and with each exhale, release and let them go. On our next inhale, we're going to bring our chest back upright, moving into king pigeon. We're going to bend our back knee, and if you can reach your foot, you're going to start by pulling your foot in towards your low back, feeling the stretch through the front of your thigh, through the quadriceps, and then the exhale, push away, lengthening through the front. Exhaling, release. Turning the toes under, front leg joins our back leg. One more plank hold, challenging ourselves to hold this just a little bit longer, 4 to 5 full cycles of breath. Each breath, reaching the base of the belly, drop to the knees if necessary. We're halfway there, you can do this. Leaving this practice feeling more energized than when we started it. On your exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right heel high. Exhale, bring it all the way up and through. And we move into pigeon, opposite side. So for those of us that have trouble keeping our weight equally distributed, it might be beneficial to have a block or a pillow under this hip to help bring the weight to the center. You're welcome to stay upright or walk down to your forearms, perhaps even stacking the fist. Really paying attention to our breath here. We should notice that the breath becomes a little bit deeper and a little bit longer whenever we take the time to slow down and really focus on it. The breath is really our most powerful tool. It can really help calm and relax our entire bodies. And it's a tool that we can use any place, anytime. When we're stuck in traffic, when we're in a long line and experience stress, we can always stop and focus on our deep belly breathing. Taking just a couple of last deep breaths in. Using our next inhale, we'll lift the chest back upright, slowly moving into our king pigeon, bending our back knee. If you can reach the foot on this side, slowly pulling the heel in towards your low back, feeling the stretch along the front of the thigh. And then exhale, push the leg away, stretching more through the low back, front of the shoulder, chest area. On our next exhale, let's slowly release. Bring the leg all the way up and around to a 45-degree angle. My foot is flexed, so the big toe points straight up to the sky. Inhale, right palm up. Exhale, reach over as far as you comfortably can. Side body stretch. Inhale, bring the palm behind your hip. We're going to lift up and over, so you can stay here, just finding a little bit of extension, or you can send your hips up to the sky, reaching a little bit deeper into a back bend. And let's exhale, bring our heels together, finding cobbler's pose. Starting with our hands under the ankles, first sit tall, inhaling, lengthen the spine, actively pulling your shoulders away from your ears, and then gently moving left ear to the shoulder, where we started at the beginning of practice today. Hopefully you're noticing that you can find a little bit more range of motion here than where you were at the start of class. Inhale, center, exhale, other side. Inhale, center, release, and extend our right leg out to the 45-degree angle. Foot is flexed. Inhale, tall. Exhale, reach over. Enjoying the side opening of our hip and side body. Using our next inhale, take the palm behind the hip. Either extend by reaching up and back, or at the hips and extend a little bit deeper. And let's use our next exhale to take the tailbone back to the mat. Moving into we're going to take the right ankle across the left arm, big forward flexion, shoulder back, and to make the stretch more intense, just slide your hips to your heel. To make it less intense, create more space between your hip and your heels. You decide where you want to go. Breathe into it. What you might find, the longer you hold the stretch, is that your body creates more space by opening up and lengthening through the muscle. If that's the case, move in, make the stretch a little bit deeper. When you're ready, release, take the feet really wide, wider than the distance, and just rock from side to side. And then the opposite side. Figure four, pull the big toe in, and then adjust. One side is always going to be a little more open, a little bit more flexible. So just listen to your body, make the muscles very adjustment, and do what feels right to you today. Have your cat compare how you felt in your last practice. Just a couple more deep breaths in. Release. And again, rock our knees from side to side. We're trying to like more seated balance and toes. It's getting really windy here, so I know this will be a challenge for me. We find our two fingers toe locked, so we're just going to lift our toes. Heels are 2 inches off your mat, so your belly's engaged. So this is come up on the balance. You're working your core. Both ears to keep moving back. Back, long spine. If you want to move into a balancing straddle, so don't worry if the legs go straight or work to have your spine long, chest out. And let's use our next inhale to slowly bring our heels back together. Exhale, release. Big shoulder rolls up, down, and back. After your next shoulder roll, leave your shoulder blades down and back like you're pressing your shoulder blades towards your back pockets where we want them to be for the rest of the day. Helps open the chest and create good posture. Find your way into a comfortable seated position for our final relaxation, Shavasana. If you're not interested in taking final relaxation seated, go ahead and move to a supine position. You can be on your back, you could be on your side, whatever way you're most comfortable and neutral. Making your way to that position now. Begin to deepen the breath. Start to clear your minds. And let's use this time to seal in all the benefits of everything we've done today for our body, giving ourselves this time to let our minds and our bodies simply be.
slowly start to bring your awareness back into the space. Begin to gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. Slowly start to open your eyes. And let's take a deep cleansing breath in. If you haven't worked your way up to a seated position, slowly make your way there. Inhaling, arms up and overhead, reaching tall, big audible exhale through the mouth. And one more deep breath in. This time exhaling, hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you for being here.